This is Innovation Currency. My name is Leigh-Ann and I am your host. What I want this podcast to help people see about themselves is that innovation is for everyone and everyone is an innovator. Welcome to Innovation Currency. My name is Leigh-Ann and we're here to reimagine the stories we tell about who qualifies as an innovator and provide practical tools to help anyone discover their hidden innovator. Now, if you saw my TED Talk or listened to prior episodes, you already know that I created the Innovation Currency framework, and it helps you identify what percentage you fall within 4 specific styles: the disruptor, the connector, the distributor, and the influencer. What is so special about the connector style? Well, connectors have the intuitive ability to understand how people relate to one another and how they form deep bonds. You can create new ways to help us bridge even the widest gaps of difference among individual groups, and you have the power to elevate networking well beyond these transactional exchanges to spaces that genuinely create opportunities to maximize human potential. You connectors are true brokers of social capital, and you're extraordinarily adept at removing the barriers to privilege that people often and easily attach, sometimes unconsciously, to our interpersonal interactions. Now, connectors, like any other innovation style, has room for growth. When it comes to the connectors, they have a tendency to make snap judgments. And my secondary innovator style is a connector, and I definitely can see how this has presented itself in my own life. This often presents as jumping to broad conclusions about individuals and groups of people. Now, connectors might have a tendency to engage in transactional exchanges in their relationships, particularly when they ignore their intuition, the disruptor style. As a disruptor, you understand the most complex ideas and concepts. At your core, just like me, you are an architect of new systems. Your tools of trade are models and frameworks that help other people shift how they see themselves and experience the world. Now, disruptors are visionaries. They're visionary thinkers that push us to reimagine the principles and the values and the ideals upon which we build our social infrastructure, our culture, and our communities. Now, disruptors always create with the end vision in mind, then they architect a path to see it come to pass. They naturally see the world through the lens of pure potential. They are, in some sense, visionary thinkers who naturally move by faith, not facts. The ability to change how we see social, physical, and cultural systems. They are able to create things that kind of put a wool over our eyes or a new set of glasses, if you will, and completely change how we see something. Disruptors actually have a tendency to suffer from idealism, and I am the first to say that I often see the world as it can be, but not always as it is. This often presents as miscalculating the gap between the present as it is and the future that they can easily envision. They might overestimate the amount of work needed to effectuate a change and may easily, unconsciously often, dismiss relevant details that do not seem to fit the puzzle that they have in front of them, the influencer style. I want you to listen carefully because you're absolutely in for a treat. So what makes the influencer innovator style so special? You influencers innately understand how people and institutions wield power, collectively and individually. You have the ability to motivate people into action because you recognize the necessary inputs that change human behavior. You are kind of like those psychological mavens that know how to influence people into specific outcomes. You're really able to build movements that are truly inclusive in nature because who you center as leaders are often the folks that are overlooked, lost, left behind, or underestimated. The areas of opportunity for growth for the influencer style are their tendency to cater to their own ego. This may present as placing an individual persona or personal motivation well above the purpose of a given message, where they center themselves versus centering the purpose. Instead of being continuously exposed to new ideas, people, and perspectives, sometimes influencers might operate within information and communication silos. Today, we're going to focus on the distributor style. So, what makes a distributor special? Distributor superpower really lies in their ability to accurately assess the value of just about anything. When I think about a distributor, I automatically think of the plug. You know, that person that you can say one word and they can tell you how to get it, how much it will cost, and who to talk to for a discount. They're the ones that are able to procure a resource or just about anything that's needed when you need it the most. If you are a distributor, you encourage others to reimagine who ascribes worth and how we calculate the value of people, places, products, ideas, things, and experiences. You are, as I mentioned, the ultimate plug because you're so generous in how you help people kind of reallocate capital and resources from the places that need it to the people who lack access. And they have a tendency to engage in favoritism. They are often susceptible to distributing resources to people or platforms that they are just most familiar with. It's actually pretty common. You will likely navigate and be attracted to things with which you are most familiar. Our brains are wired to be biased, not because we're bad people, but because it's a shortcut. It's a way of really accelerating or making more efficient and more effective the way that we process information. Distributors actually suffer from that same glitch. I developed a simple test, a quiz, if you will, to help anyone discover their hidden innovation traits from across 4 specific domains: disruptor, connector, distributor, and influencer. If you haven't already taken the quiz, please stop, take a pause, and go by visiting my website, www.leighanbuchanan.com/innovator quiz.